My fiance's best friend is making life awful, but my fiance won't stand up for me.
Divorce.
My fiance has the biggest heart, would literally give you the shirt, pants, and hat off of his body if you ask for it.
Oh, God.
He's a recovering people pleaser, and I get it because I also used to be a people pleaser. We've been married for 5+ years. This comes from Adventurous Aside 600 on the Best of Redditor Updates subreddit. So a few months ago, I started picking up on his best friend making some not so nice comments towards me. I'm trying to be vague, but let's just say this friend is the type to read who is in the room who would be most affected by being picked on, and then he picks and picks and picks on them until they can't freaking take it anymore. I hate that. Nobody ever really holds him accountable for this, and unfortunately, I have somehow become his favorite target. I wonder if he's funny, and that's why no one steps up. But I tried to put up with these comments, but it started to get really elaborate. The friend would make up lies about me saying things I never said. He once called me in front of all our friends, my fiance included, just to yell, "You're a bad friend," into the phone and then hang up.
Okay.
That's a weird prank call.
Yeah.
There's so much to it that I can't share because I'm trying to be somewhat anonymous. It started having an effect on my mental health, and I ended up having a full breakdown where I told my fiance how much this was all starting to hurt me. I'm surprised he didn't say anything. The fiance.
Yeah.
To all of this. The first time I broke down over this, he said he would talk to his friend about teasing/messing with me less. He's not even saying it's bullying. He's like, oh, he's just a little jokester.
Yeah.
He then told me his friend was sorry and that he'd be keeping an ear out for any of those other comments, and he'd jump to my defense if it happened again. A few weeks later, I had a second breakdown over all this. The situation itself is hitting a very specific childhood trauma/trigger for me. We don't like that.
Nope.
That's not good.
Nope. Especially not your partner defending you for that.
And he admitted, Opie's fiance, that his friend didn't actually apologize. Everyone's lying now. Everyone's lying.
Everyone's a liar.
He actually said he was sorry. I was too sensitive to understand his humor. Sorry, my humor is just so edgy, bro.
Yeah, sorry I'm so cool and you're like so lame, and I'm just like
Netflix couldn't handle it either, you know? I said that my comedy special, too edgy for Netflix.
Yeah, they wouldn't they wanted it so bad, but they're like, oh, we can't do it, that's fine.
That's why I streamed it to 5 people on Rumble. At that point, that one's for Riley.
I used to work for a live streamer that live stream on Rumble.
Oh my God.
That was
Forgot that.
At that point, I told my fiance, my friendship with this person is over, and I want zero contact from here on out, even if that means I have to miss out on events and parties that I would otherwise love to go to, because are you going to love to go to those parties if this guy is constantly haranguing you and saying mean things to you?
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, oh, you're so dumb. I don't like that. Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya.
He agreed with me that all of this is being done with the intention to get a rise out of me, and that even if we try to get through to this friend, he's so diabolical that we could never fully trust him not to treat me at least a little bit crappy. Why are you friends with this person?
Why? Like, what does he have to offer? Obviously nothing there, but
John, I have a girlfriend, Fry.
Hello.
If one of your friends
I have a girlfriend.
was talking crap like this to your girl, what are you going to do?
Not happening.
What are you going to do?
It's over.
What are you
It's
doing?
over. Shut down.
Shut down. Bye.
But how are you shutting this down?
Yeah, how are you shutting it down?
I think it's like, so this
Shotgun
is,
first.
Yeah, I feel like you could try.
No, you, not you.
No, yeah.
Could.
I'm saying I
John Fry.
could.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was speaking in me,
John,
but yes.
have a girlfriend, Fry.
I, John, have a girlfriend, Fry. Solemnly swear.
swear.
I think first you can suss out, is this the type of scenario where you could basically just like out of contact? And because sometimes there are some cases where like, and it seems like especially this type of guy, if you brought this to him, it could explode everything worse and then cause more frustration for everyone involved.
But maybe he doesn't know how bad it is, and like I think give the guy a chance to remedy, but it also sounds like that's what they've done already.
I think when something reaches a certain point, and look, it varies differently. If it was like someone who like helped him out a lot in this point of life, like if they do have some actual like true strong connective tissue in their relationship, that is another thing. But it's just we haven't seen any here. You know?
We do have some strong connection coming up.
Oh no. Okay. Well, there it is. All right.
My fiance kept asking me if this meant he had to quit the project they're working on. What's the project?
Uber for toothpaste. Their brand new startup
Uber
idea.
for toothpaste.
Ready to change the world.
Airbnb for dogs.
Yep.
Chat
Changing the world.
GPT for trees.
Yeah. Trees will have unlimited knowledge.
Think of the mitochondrial network. The myocillin network. What's the freaking mushroom network? Myocillin? Myocillin?
I feel like mitochondrial is something
That's something
I've
different. Myocilium network, I think. It's like the network of the mushrooms talking to each other.
Love a good mushroom network.
Love a good, yeah, dude.
My favorite kind.
Little mushroom network.
Little mushroom network, you're good to go.
They used to call it an elephant walk back in my day, but now they just call it a mushroom network.
Yeah, Microhizol network.
Microzol. I don't. Can you put it in the chat? What is it called? Show me, quick! Oh! Microhizol network, something like that. Anyway, my fiance kept asking if this meant he had to quit the project they're working on. I told him I would never tell him he had to because I know how much it means to them. Do we know about this project? Am I missing something?
Nope. This might be a niche industry type story.
Because
Gotta stay
OP
anonymous.
wants to be anonymous.
Yeah.
What is the project?
There's probably going to be big details left out. We might never know.
Oh, God.
We'll
you know
see.
how much that annoys
Oh,
me.
I know. That is your
You know
number
how
one pet peeve on this show.
Come on. I want all the details. But in all honesty, the fact that this person is treating me so poorly that I'm having physical stress reactions isn't enough for him to want to cut this person off does hurt a lot. So OP's like, you don't have to, but I can't believe you wouldn't want to.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
Which is like, I understand. I feel like this is warranted, but I feel like it's the classic girlfriend response where it's like, I don't want you to, I want you to want to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I think I saw this Instagram where it was like, do you want to go get ice cream? And the guy's like, I'm not really hungry, but like, I'll go if you want to go. And she's like, no, I want you to want to go.
Yes. Yes.
We have to go together.
100%.
Mycelium network. That's what I was trying to hit.
Fair Rose.
Thanks. The fact that this isn't a deal breaker for him is probably always going to sting a little. He's not confrontational at all, and I always knew that. But it's not about confrontation. It's about standing in my corner. And I can't spend the rest of my life with someone who isn't in my corner. I mean, true.
And then ultimately, too, like we always say, everything is unique to each person's wants and needs in a relationship. If OP is like, hey, something I want in my relationship and life partner is someone who will, stand up for me in these types of situations, well, then that's what OP is.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone can have different contexts of what they want in a relationship, but it feels like OP is not getting the respect that she needs, or like OP's fiance is not putting up the boundaries of what he expects his friends to do and how to treat his partner.
Yeah. So far, like all he's done is ask him to stop, and then he gave a complete anti-apology and the end.
Which is whack. Nicole H says she knows her worth.
Boom.
Darn tootin'. Vlad Putin. This friend is getting married to my best friend in a few months, so they're going to be even more intertwined.
Oh, no.
And we're supposed to be in the wedding, but I really have no clue how. I get a literal knot in my stomach anytime his name is even mentioned now. I've seen this friend one time since all of this came to a head, and he was so over the top nice to me that it came off as so at least he's being nice now.
But is it like, hey, how you doing? Oh my gosh, hey, what's going on in your world? Wow, that's so cool. Right? Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. But
terrible.
Which would you rather have?
I don't know. I hate that. I hate that pretty hard. So
it would kind of suck, but at least it's like, at least he's trying to change.
I think I would hate it more, to be honest. Just my personal preference. I would hate it more. I hate that.
Yeah, it would suck.
Pretty annoying, right?
Yeah, pretty.
How
annoying.
hard does it suck, Sam? Tell me.
It's really hard. I feel like your annoyingly nice voice is just goofy.
Yeah, it is. It is just goofy. No free sponsors.
Yeah. Shout out, not
Silly.
Disney. I had the second breakdown a few days afterwards because I realized I'm possibly going to be spending the rest of my life on edge, literally having an edge cess for the rest of your life, and on guard anytime this person is even somewhat in my vicinity, even if they aren't actively effing with me. I don't know how to come to terms with the fact that my fiance was willing to lie to me on his crappy friend's behalf. Because remember, fiance said the crappy friend apologized.
But he didn't.
And he didn't. Is that a red flag for the fiance?
Yeah.
He's trying to protect his friend. Yeah. And not really protecting fiance. He's protecting the friend. He's doing way more to protect the friend than he is doing his fiance.
And he's the one that's being the menace.
Yeah,
he's protecting the menace.
He's protecting the menace. Don't protect Dennis. Put Dennis the Menace out of business. But he's not willing to stand in my corner against him. I think it will always hurt. This guy was supposed to be the best man in our wedding.
Whoa.
Best man in the wedding and going to be marrying OP's best friend.
That's the ties. That's
it's
the connection.
So tied up.
That's you have to address this.
And as a result, we haven't been talking much about wedding plans. I think if he's still planning on this friend being in our wedding, I may have to call it off for my own sanity, and that's so bad.
That just proves how much of an issue it is for OP. The question is,
might call off the wedding because of this.
Will the fiance see that? Will he actually really understand?
Yeah, dude. She has to. Do you think she kind of says not quite in an ultimatum-y way, but it's kind of if this friend is in the wedding, I'm calling it off.
I think so. Hey, look, I'm literally getting basically just say what she said. I'm getting knots in my stomach. I'm literally beside myself with stress thinking about this guy. And in all honesty, if he's in the wedding, it's just not a wedding that I would want to do right now.
Yeah.
So if you want him as the best man, it's just not a wedding that I want to do right now.
Yeah. A lot needs to change with this relationship for me to even think about him being involved, let alone being the best man.
Yeah.
Let alone being the best man. This is effing eating me alive. I love my fiance so much. I love his big heart and the way he loves with all of it. But he loves some truly wretched people. And I don't know if he'll enforce any boundaries with those people before the lack of boundaries becomes too much for me to handle. I'm just hurt and I'm hurting. And I just want whatever outcome to play out so I can stop feeling so guilty and awful all the time. And also, John, there's an update.
Oh my God.
It's fat.
Oh.
It's juicy.
Oh.
It's double cheeked up on a Sunday afternoon, ready to be licked and slathered in glitter.
Oh my!
But before we do that, we got some relevant comments before we get into that update. But before we even do that, what advice do you have for OP navigating this whole situation?
I think OP needs to basically share everything she's feeling and not even do maybe the only quote unquote directive she says is here's everything I'm feeling. If you want him as the best man, this is just not a wedding that I want to be in right now. And
yeah, you can get married to him.
Yeah, you get married to him and then see how the husband responds from there. And if hopefully this is the wake up call, and then instead of it's being but I want you to want it, he'll actually want to solve. And he needs to confront and address it with the friend. He has to.
Yeah,
he has to.
And you can't just keep protecting this friend if you want to protect your partner.
Yeah.
Too
tied together. Yeah.
But we got some relevant comments before we get into this update.
Sophia, I had a fun little trip after we went to Paris.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend had a little 4th anniversary.
So cute.
It was great, but one thing did suffer in particular.
What?
That was my knees.
No.
I had what I called a knee melon when I landed.
I'm not familiar.
So when my rickety knees are pushed to the brink and fly for 15 hours, it just turns into a melon.
Coagulates.
It just inflates to the point where it's like a small melon, on my knee. I don't need to go to a farmer's market or anything.
You've got one homegrown.
It's ready to go. But as you can imagine, I can't walk.
Yes, I could imagine, and also witnessed.
Knee melons are not great for movement. So, when I landed in LAX, I was like, I have this knee melon. There's one place I have to go. You know where that was, Sophia?
What place?
ZocDoc! ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you.
And instantly book appointments with them online.
And these doctors all have verified reviews from actual real patients.
We're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed, credible doctors and specialists.
And Sophia, you can filter for ones that take your insurance.
And treat basically any condition you're searching for.
And the typical wait time to see a doctor book on ZocDoc is just between 24 and 72 hours.
Sometimes even same day.
Guys, I use ZocDoc. We use ZocDoc. You should freaking use it.
Go to ZocDoc.com/OKOP and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/OKOP, ZocDoc.com/OKOP. Let's get back to the show.
So, relevant comments. Parsec says, if your fiance will not stick up for you, it's more than just being a people pleaser. He's a doormat. And Add Your Euphoric 1184 says, and her best friend isn't much of a friend either, considering the problematic friend is marrying her best friend. She should also be telling him to back off to an update 1 month later.
Oh,
let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Never thought I'd actually update this account out of sheer effing embarrassment, but I wanted to share this for those who encouraged me to put myself first.
Okay.
So I think we might get in a good update.
Okay.
Opie's putting themselves first.
All right.
I want you to all know my partner absolutely came through and protected me in this. This does not usually happen.
I'm surprised.
Usually on Reddit, we have someone that's being an a-hole, stays an a-hole. An a-hole in motion will continue to stay in motion.
Indeed. That's the laws
Newton's
of OK
third
Storytime.
law. Yes. And okay. It's our law.
That's our law.
It's our law.
I don't know who this Newton guy is.
Yeah, freaking.
Okay physics laws.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay physics law. An a-hole in motion will stay in motion. But this a-hole has
Broken all
changed.
rules.
Maybe there's been another object that has changed the trajectory. Maybe. Redemption Arc, Josephine Medola Burquist says, darn tootin'. We spent all this time since my last post, up until last week, communicating and trying to find a resolution. Wow. And walking through how it got this bad. I'm almost waiting for it's like, sign!
Yeah.
Divorce!
But
No, he took a lot of accountability for that. This is not a case of me giving in. He understands fully that this only got so bad because it has never been handled correctly, and he has had a major hand in that, in it not being handled correctly, but hopefully also in it now being held correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many more layers to this than a Reddit post could ever have conveyed. I don't know. I think Reddit can do a pretty good job of conveying a lot of layers. A little Shrek-like platform. The bottom line is we are closer than ever. And after a lot of talking, we decided on my partner sending a firm but not unkind message to his friend explaining the behaviors, explaining that they are hurting his partner and that it needs to stop.
I'm sorry, but I just had that is the exact type of thing. A firm, basically a direct, but not intentionally like mean, or it's like, hey, here's just the truth, the straight facts, what we're feeling. There it is.
Yeah. And potentially, this is maybe the first time that this friend is actually getting a detailed expose of what he's been doing wrong and like enough detail for him to change his behavior.
Yeah, because possibly what could have happened is like everyone else that maybe had these feelings, they're like, all right, I'm just gonna like not mess with this guy anymore, and he's just like cycling all these friends through, and then they like fade out, and this is the first time that's like, no, it's reached because they're so tied to him, they had to do it, right?
Yeah,
there was no way around it.
But John, I see an ICU from Kimberly Fine in chat that I don't want to be true, but I'm going to read it anyway. Now my ICU is that fiance was cheating with friend's wife and both fed the friend fake info about OP. Either fiance needed an out before the wedding or he and wife mutually blew up the group. That is a crazy ICU. That's a crazy ICU. My ICU is it was all fine until last week. Like they worked on it like the last 3 weeks and then this past week, things blew up.
We're about to hit the fan. So basically, this is saying like he was cheating with who's the butthead friend? Do we know? Just the friend, right?
OP's fiance's best friend is the butthead friend, and then OP's best friend is marrying butthead friend.
Right, and the fiance was cheating with OP's best friend. Basically.
Potentially, that's what Kimberly Fine is saying. That's the ICU. I don't know. I don't want that to be true.
Yeah.
But let's see what is actually true.
Okay.
So he asked to write up the first draft and we could go over it together and try to perfect it. Reddit, please know the first draft my partner wrote was so spot on what I needed to read that it instantly shifted us into us versus the problem mode when we'd been stuck butting heads for a week. He laid everything out so clearly and in ways that we hadn't even discussed. So I knew it came from him. We had to tone down a lot of big emotions. We really truly gave the message its best shot to address the situation without being hostile. We knew the response would be bad no matter what, but I don't think anything could have effing prepared us, we're about to get a frickin' response.
Here we go.
This man went full scorched earth and blew up everything almost immediately.
How so?
He insulted my partner. He told him these events didn't happen the way I claimed they did. He demanded they meet up alone with a mediator. He even threatened to reach out to my partner's parents to fill them in, which is probably the moment we stopped taking his responses seriously. All of us are almost in our 30s. If once wasn't enough, he threatened it twice.
You're going to tell my mommy? Shut up.
We actually had to call them and warn them, the parents, that he would be showing up at their place later this week and not to open the door. There's still a good chance he'll attempt it. This guy's
good riddance.
Also,
good freaking riddance.
Great to know this before you have him as a best man in your wedding.
Thank God. Thank God.
We stayed respectful throughout all of this, which I feel good about, because I think it's easy to stoop down to that level and like toss some mean stuff back, but they kept the high ground.
There we go.
Anakin.
That's what we like.
No, come on.
Obi.
There we go.
Obi-Wan.
There we go.
Well, he was trying to get the high ground and
I
failed.
have the high ground now, Anakin. That's the line.
What does he say back?
You got to know.
You know nothing about my power or something?
You know nothing about my power.
Is that what he says back?
I don't know. I think we're going to be him for Halloween, so we got to figure this out.
You're going to be him for Halloween?
Yeah, Anakin.
My
favorite Jedi.
What's Angie going to be?
Padme.
Padme? Nice.
Yeah. Or Obi-Wan.
Fire combo. Yeah. There we go.
You know, Anakin was like 7 and Padme was like 14.
Cool. It was different. It was different galaxy, dude. Different times.
Different galaxy. Dude.
YouTubers and these.
On Plutron 9, here's the age of consent.
They were both minors.
Yeah.
We didn't stoop to his level. We didn't insult anyone. We asked for basic human respect, and somehow it blew up spectacularly. In the end, we both received a massive wall of texts from my now ex-best friend. Remember the best friend that was going to marry him?
She's getting married to him.
Fully backing up her man and telling her side of the story, which is so insanely far off from what actually happened that all I can do is laugh. Wow, what a terrible response. But I would love to say, they do have each other's backs.
They deserve each other.
They deserve each other. They deserve each other. We've been shifting from crying to being struck to just straight up laughing because of the absurdity. I went into this thinking she was brainwashed, but it turns out I was wrong. They're a perfect match. I wish them all the best. Dude, I feel like OP and us were like kind of on the same wavelength.
I see you, OP.
I see you seeing us. Oh, also, there's guys, I skipped ahead a little bit. There's another update after this 2 months later. Oh my God. And it gets even crazier. I wish them all the best. I'm sending them one last message, setting the record straight, which my partner and I decided together was the best approach, apart from just ghosting. Before moving on from this entirely, I'm going to make it very clear this is done. 0 contact indefinitely, and I will never look back.
There we go.
My partner and I both deserve way better friends, and we both see that so clearly now. I am so effing glad I learned my friend's true colors before we dropped $800 on a hotel for the wedding. Thank you to everyone who was kind. Not only did I put myself first in the end, but my partner did too. Again, there is an update coming that is fat and it is juicy, so just wait. Just you wait. We're going to get to it in a sec. We're going to take this week in stride and process it all. Grieve the friendships we once thought were forever. That's a sad sentence. And at the end of the week, we have a conveniently timed vacation to my partner's family cottage. I think we're going to come out stronger because we already feel it. Again, thank you to those who had something productive to say, and I've made my peace with all the rest. I guess if the guy does something else outlandish, maybe I'll update, but for now, this chapter is closed. It ain't. There's another update, and I'm so ready for it to start collecting dust. The dust will not settle because we are going to get into an update that is going to blow all this dust into a whirlwind, a little dust devil of a next update.
Not ready.
But John,
I'm not ready.
How do you feel about sending another text? So they sent that first text. How do you feel about the second text basically saying like, hey, everything you said was wrong? Is that necessary? Not necessary? Would you do it? What do you think?
So what they accomplished with the first text was very clearly and directly, without being too harsh, explain what he did wrong. So now he is informed, here is everything where you went wrong. Also, he is going scorched earth on them, which means they've already communicated everything. More contact will probably lead to
more conflict,
more conflict, more friction. At this point, this is where I think they can bow out and just try to go no contact, block it out. They've already explained everything they need to.
So you think you would not the crazy friend's fiance who sent that wall of text like chastising OP and OP's fiance, you wouldn't respond to that with like the right story?
I think what you could respond, like the best friend getting married, reaching out to them, right?
Because it's like they didn't respond to OP's husband's best friend.
Yeah.
But OP's best friend that's marrying OP's husband's best friend just sent something in defense of her husband, OP's best friend. So like, do you say anything back to that?
Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Okay, I was thinking of the husband's best friend. Now that it's OP's best friend, I think you could say, you don't have to say this, but you could be like, listen, honestly, you could forward the message. You could just like, hey, here's everything we told him. Maybe you don't need to, but hey, here's everything we told him. Like, I'm not here to change your mind. You can believe what you want to believe, but we're going no contact with him. And if you're with him, so be it. Best of luck. But, our friendship relationship can continue. Peace out, Girl Scout. I think you can say that.
I actually also, I agree with what you said. I also agree with what Cassie F said. I think the second text was out of courtesy to not just ghost them.
Yeah.
What I think is a good way to make it clear that things end definitely without being an a-hole. And I agree. So I think in conclusion, it sounds like we're all in agreement that the second text to OP's best friend that's marrying OP's husband's best friend is a good move.
It's a move.
It's a move.
It's a good move.
But we got some relevant comments and then another juicy, thick update.
I'm ready now.
Oh my God, there is a third butt cheek growing on that right in the middle.
Who'd have
thought? It's like that. It's like that. The 3-boobed lady in Total Recall, but with butt cheeks. With butt cheeks.
It's a BBBL.
It's a BBBL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you? Don't show it, but.
Yeah. Riley just pulls up the search before it finishes loading. Demonetized.
Is that the lady in Total Recall, or is it Blade Runner? Yeah, I think it's Total Recall. Yeah.
Riley's like adding that to my movie queues.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Anyway, so comments before we get into the update. Unquantifiable Life says it sounds like both of your ex-friends were from your people-pleasing days. It's time for a fresh start, and I'm so glad you're both going to get it before your wedding, so they're not in your photos. And Wielder of Aphorism says, good riddance to bad rubbish. Wishing you both peace. And we're going to get a piece of this next update right this second, 2 months later. So, hey, y'all. Told myself I wouldn't update again, but there has been a pretty massive development. Massive. Not sure if anyone is really that invested in this crap show. We are, but it's actually helped me to type it out the first couple times, so maybe I will feel a bit better if I do it again. Sorry in advance for how disgustingly long this is going to be. And this is a long one, and this might be a rough one, y'all. So strap in, get the tissues, and let's wipe away those tears because
I'm ready.
It's going to be tough. A few weeks ago, the a-hole showed his entire hand. He sent my partner a message at 11 a.m. on Monday, and it is the most unhinged crap I've ever read. And I will sum it up for you right now. The a-hole said he believed my partner is in an abusive relationship, and he should leave me, quote, for his own happiness. He claimed he has the evidence to support this. He's coming with his MLA cited sources right now. And it's not just from Wikipedia. It's from like qualified places. He went to the library, Dewey Decimal System, took out a book, highlighted it, did little clip-ins, put it in the paper.
You're not an academic, sir. No.
He claimed he has evidence to support this. He admitted this was a big message he would have given had they met in person, and it's only the beginning. He also told him he was worried sending the message would make things even worse for my partner if I saw it. He said, I am someone he can never forgive and he will never want to associate with ever again. He ended it saying he hopes he'll leave me so my partner can apologize for breaking up the band. Yes, it was a band. Oh, the project was a band.
At least we figured that out.
That's funny.
But I feel like with more mysteries going up, but I digress.
And they can start to repair their friendship. Obviously, a lot to digest. So really quick, that was a little bit confusing to me, but what it sounds like is like this guy sent a large message of what was wrong with OP and the fiance's relationship to the fiance.
Yeah.
And is like, this is why you should leave. And I think we're going to get some insight into like what he's saying.
I hope
he
so.
says he could not forgive OP.
Like For what?
I
Hopefully
guess
we
we're
find
about to
out.
find out.
Mm.
Obviously, a whole lot to digest. I know y'all don't know me, but I am obviously not abusing my partner. I shouldn't even have to clarify that, but I will anyways. This guy 100% excommunicated from our lives indefinitely, not that he already wasn't at that point. In light of this new info, I'd like to share some of the things the a-hole has done over the past year that made me realize he was effing with me, but I didn't clock it at the time because, much like some of you, I thought I was just being sensitive. So, my partner and I joined some pals, including a-hole, to play a game together online, Lethal Company, if you're familiar. I have many, many hours in the game and know the monsters quite well, so I was pretty confused when I was slaughtered by a bracken 3 game days in a row, almost immediately upon entering the facility and splitting from the group. I guess that's some
gameplay talk.
some game crap. I mentioned at one point that I'd be having a lot more fun if I wasn't dying so quickly every time, and the a-hole mockingly said, "It must be a skill issue." After a few more deaths, this time with me getting at least to explore a bit before getting my neck snapped, I asked if anyone had the Control Company mod installed, which allows the server host to play as the monsters. Suddenly, the a-hole had to go, and the lobby conveniently disbanded. So basically, they were rigging the game against OP to make her immediately be.
Mm-hmm.
So he might have been the monsters and she was trying to fight him off.
Yeah. I never brought my suspicions up to anyone because I knew it would be my word against his, and I had no solid proof, so I wasn't positive. But when I finally mentioned it to my partner a couple weeks ago, after the text was sent, he told me he remembers the a-hole staying on the ship and secretly going AFK multiple times in the game, which lines up pretty perfectly with my in-game deaths.
Dude, even messing with it, she can't even live her game life without him involved.
Dude, he's a psycho. He's a psycho. When I said the a-hole was being too nice the time he saw him after my partner called him about his comments affecting me, I don't think I explained it right. My partner and I were sitting at a table at a local show, and the a-hole sat next to me, not my partner, and wouldn't stop touching my arm and asking me if I was enjoying the show. Multiple times he would just stare at me and grin as wide as he could. If I had just been told something I did hurt my friend's partner, I don't think I'd be all over them the way this guy was to me. If it were me, I'd at least throw a sorry about the other night their way. It felt like he was gloating that he got away with it. It was comically over the top and made me and my partner very uncomfortable. We talked on the drive home and we both felt the same way about it. Okay. So it seems like at least they're on the same page with that. I was hanging out with my friend at her place and the a-hole was there. So we all decided to head to my place and hang with my partner as a unfortunate choice of words. Right before we left, the a-hole asked if I knew our mutual friend's big secret. I did not. I'm also not very close with this friend. My friend already knew and told him they should just tell me because I wouldn't be that invested. But a-hole told her my partner didn't know yet and they couldn't tell me until we all got to my place and told him. He kept going on how big the secret was and insisted that I'd freak out once I knew. I made a comment about how we were taking different cars and there was a chance my friend would just tell me on the way. So he looked her dead in the face and told her that he'd be genuinely upset with her if she told me before he told my partner. Psycho.
What is happening here?
We respected that. When we got to my place, it was obvious my partner already knew the big secret was simply that our friend was dating someone. I found out later that the a-hole had called my partner the minute he had gotten his car and told him that both me and my friend didn't know, and they should put on a big show of telling us both together. My partner had known for weeks, and the friend group had openly discussed it a few times, and it hadn't come up with me because, as I said, I'm not very close with this friend. I got baited, lol, truly exhausting behavior. But so far, it is exhausting, but it's like not like I'm reading this and it's like weird, but it's not egregious.
It's not
yet.
ultimately harmful because it
doesn't feel egregious.
It's like
bad.
Outside of, he's using this, the actual truth itself isn't that crazy, and he's just playing this weird game of stringing them along. And
but like Josephine Medola Berquist says, he is abusive. I don't know if I would throw around abusive quite yet for this behavior, but it's definitely weird, and it feels like a little, there's the beginnings of manipulation going on.
Yeah, and we're kind of going back and re-explaining back context, right?
Yeah,
because the message,
back context, like what in terms of the back context, the message is unhinged, obviously.
Yeah.
But the back context, I'm like, oh, like it's not like,
I feel like we're approaching. We haven't reached the pinnacle yet. We haven't reached the port where the roller coaster dunks down.
Yeah, Jody Main says it's just immature. I think that is more what I'm getting from this. Miss Jaybird says it's definitely weird, but it's not menacing. Deirdre Statham says he's partially hinged, not totally unhinged.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah, he's partially hinged. My partner had no idea what happened until I told him about the conversation at A-Hole's place, and my friend didn't say a word. In my defense, I typed out exactly why this was ridiculous once all this came to head, and they both refused to acknowledge it. I dyed my hair blue. That's fun. My first outing with the new hair was with the whole group. I went all out on my makeup and outfit and was pretty stoked on it. I was not exaggerating in the slightest when I say the a-hole made 20 plus jokes about my hair in the span of 15 minutes. It was pretty much every time he interacted with me, which he seemed to go out of his way to do specifically so he could make jokes about my hair. If you've ever had blue hair, then you're probably heard most of the jokes he was making. I laughed along for the first few. I can definitely handle banter as it's a huge part of almost all friend groups, but after about 20 jokes, I finally said it was getting old and asked if he had anything nice to say. He responded by making another 5 jokes with a big crap-eating grin on his face and implied I was too sensitive. There is truly no off switch with this guy.
Turn off the relationship
But
with him.
We got more. Anyways, just wanted you all to know I'm not crazy. The a-hole's literally been trying to drive me mad for at least a year, and it worked. My partner and I have had many conversations about this, and I know a lot of people had a lot to say about him, but please know this was eating both of us alive. He wanted to make things work so badly, he wanted to at least try to salvage their 20-plus year friendship. 20-plus years.
It's a long time.
Really quick, though, with even with that last one, it's annoying, but it's not, it's like immature, but it doesn't quite feel egregious.
Yes.
With all the examples, not in history, not his response to everything.
Yeah. If it's if we're taking this, but I would say if he's constant, this is a very annoying. And even if it's this level of annoying over and over again in outings, that can reach a point.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of thing, but
I feel like it still deserves that text of saying hey,
that's true actually. Yeah.
Hey,
it is disrespect. Absolutely.
It's disrespectful.
Not just annoying.
I'm it makes my girlfriend uncomfortable. Hey, could you chill out with that? Yeah, Radish says, nah, this entire dude is an off switch.
Yes.
Deirdre Statham says, even little needling will draw blood if it's constantly happening. Slithy Toe says, the egregious part is it's constant. The constant poking of someone will eventually make them snap, and this is what the butthead wanted to prove, that she was abusive. But we got a little bit more to this. But he understands now that this was never possible, and he knows neither of us deserve to be treated the way a-hole treated us. This was never just about me. If he was good friends to my partner, maybe things would be different, and we could have tried harder to get through to him, but this is just who he is at the core. He's known for being a prick for no reason and lying about it, and there's no space in either of our lives for that. Anyways, I doubt the a-hole can top that message, so this is the last update I'll give. My partner and I are coming out of this way stronger. The a-hole has completely brainwashed my friend, and I've made my peace with it. She can have him. Godspeed to them both. Thank you to all who showed understanding. Hopefully this is all going to be behind us very soon once the dust settles. And we do have one final update from OP in response to a comment that I will read in a sec. And I think it's a little enlightening. But John, any closing thoughts on this reverse update?
Yeah, I mean, again, knowing what happens after the reverse update, I think they handled it super well in terms of communicating exactly what needed to be communicated, not trying to be harsh or mean or overly critical, whatever you want to call it. Kudos to OP's partner for standing up and making kind of doing a 180 and getting back in OP's corner. And the dude basically all throughout the story, this guy, the fiance's friend, has just proved over and over and over and over again. It's why do we have any relationship?
And he just gets worse.
Repeatedly. He just gets worse.
He just gets worse.
So it's let's cut our losses here. Stop engaging with him. We've already told him why. Move on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I think maybe this could be a little issue of jealousy potentially. If they have a 20-plus year friendship and he sees his friend being taken away, it could be an issue of I don't want to lose my friend, and so I'm trying to stabilize my perceived pecking order within who's friends and who's closest to this person.
And funnily enough, they're childhood friends. It's almost it's a regressive thing of I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna act the age I was when I built this friendship with the OP's fiance. and act like that, with the taunting and everything else.
Yeah.
It's like
That
so
is so-
childish
It's
and
so
immature.
childish, and like there is a psychological phenomenon where and this happens a lot when people go visit home, where you revert to who you are when you were in that environment. So like, let's say you left home when, I don't know, you're in college or whatever, like 17, 18, you go back home and you are the version of yourself that you were at 17, 18. Or like, mom, do the dishes or whatever, you're not doing your freaking laundry suddenly. And you're like, what the heck happened?
Have a sudden urge to chop a tree down.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
you don't
knows
know
all
why.
about that.
Yeah. You guys feel that way too, right?
All the
Yeah,
time,
all
of
the
course.
time.
Okay, good.
Everyone does.
But we got a update in the form of a response to this comment
Okay.
from OP. So Zay4AJ says it all sounds like he was jealous of you and was threatened by your relationship with your fiance. He probably felt that you were taking his best friend away from him. Just a quick question. Did you date your fiance before or after your ex-best friends started dating? It's just that if they started after you, he could have done it to punish you and take her away from you or to make sure he stayed close to your fiance. Also, did it ever cross your minds that your boyfriend's ex-best friend was in love with him? Because his behavior sounds indicative of a jealous ex-lover. I'm not saying that your fiance was in love with him or even did anything with him, only that his ex-best friend's feelings could have been one-sided and not known to your fiance. Anyway, I hope you two can concentrate on your wedding now, that the toxic people are out of your life, and that you both have a wonderful future together and a beautiful, unforgettable wedding. Update me if your toxic ex-best friends do anything else, but I honestly hope that they don't. And OP has a response. The a-hole met my friend through me. And truly, I don't think he was in love with my partner. He just loved to control him. He tries to control everyone around him.
There you go.
And that is the end of that story.
It all makes sense, but again, like going back to before the reverse update, great ultimate ending.
Great ultimate ending. You cut out the toxic people in your life and you're stronger than ever. I mean, that's as good as we could have it be.
I'll take it.
I'll
happy.
take it.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Good navigating. My ex cheated and ghosted me. I moved on. Now she's angry. What do I do?
Keep ghosting.
Keep ghosting. For some context, the ex is 25 female. I am male 25, and my girlfriend is female 24. So my now ex-girlfriend and I met and started dating in early 2022. I always felt on my guard with her because she was a 10 out of 10 and I couldn't figure out why she decided to date me. Don't doubt yourself, King. You're an 11 out of 10.
Fam. Head
Come
up.
on. Let alone be in a relationship with me for a year. We went long distance in 2023 because she got a great opportunity to go to Europe to work on a 1-year contract. By the way, this comes from username on our Storytime subreddit. So it was huge money and an opportunity for her to travel, but I couldn't afford to go. We video chatted regularly, talked throughout the day, texting and things seemed manageable for a few months in. Put an ICU in the comments if you see where this is going.
I see you. Oh.
I started feeling anxious because she mentioned a guy that she worked with who was always hitting on her, but she assured me nothing would happen and that she really missed me.
Oh.
Yeah, she had something helping her out with their feelings of missing you.
Loneliness. Yeah. It's not cheating if you think about him while you're cheating.
Exactly. Like nothing was missing from her holes.
Mm-mm.
There was something in there.
Yeah, sometimes, I'm warming it up for you, babe.
Warming it up. Keeping it warm. Okay? Just stay on the
Little
bench there,
microwave
partner.
action.
Yeah. 1 week, she didn't answer and left me on red for 2 weeks. My God.
2 weeks?
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That is bananas.
Especially
on red.
a long distance thing.
Dude. I finally asked if she was okay and if something had happened. She finally answered and said that she had made a mistake and didn't know how to tell me.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Didn't know how to tell for
Here
2
we go.
weeks. Also, Josephine, we'll read your dono in a sec.
We got you. She wound up going out with that coworker and slept with him.
Woo!
There it is. Hooray. You
Hot
win.
girl, Euro summer. Yeah.
No. She told me this was completely crappy and described a few things about it that made it so weird.
Yeah, honestly, it was too big. Yours is perfect.
Yeah, dude. Classic. Things I wish I didn't know. I told her I was really hurt because she promised nothing would happen and we were still in a relationship. She said she understood she hurt me and it was hard for me, but she chose to be honest.
Yeah. It's hard for both of us. I had to tell you.
You know, he was really hard and it hurt you really hard.
Yeah.
A lot of things were hard.
I've been taking a lot of hard things recently.
A lot of hard things, okay? So give me a
Give me a break.
oh.
Sometimes a woman can take too many hard things.
You know? There's such a thing.
And the thing, honestly, one of the hard things was like it was too long. Again,
Too long.
the length of time for you, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's
great.
perfect. I don't need any more than 3 minutes or inches.
Very specific. Now, she said she needed some space to sort out everything. I love how she needs space, but where does this say? I don't know.
She needs space
Yeah, she needs space to think everything
to
out.
really explore.
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. To
Yeah.
come back, And it felt like she wanted me to feel bad for her. Yoinks, that's what she did. What he did. A month went by. I reached out once and she left me on red. This relationship is over. I'm sorry. We should be.
Bro,
This relationship is
give
over.
up.
Come on.
Give up.
1 month became 2 and then 3. I gave up. I went to therapy after a few weeks because I was so devastated. I had gone to a therapist after I got out of college at 18, so it's been helpful. But I just wrote off the relationship and decided it was time to move on. I felt angry at first, thought about sleeping with one of my coworkers or friends, but I never did. Kid, don't let what is it? Impulsive thoughts? Intrusive thoughts. Get it out
Are
of
they
here.
in a relationship anymore?
I mean, during the time, so where we are now is a 3-month point of basically leaving him on red when he reaches out to her.
Yeah.
A few weeks in.
Don't stoop to her level.
Yeah.
Like have a clean
Not at
break and then go wild.
Yeah, a few weeks in, he was contemplating it, but no.
Then go
just-
wild. Or actually take time to heal and then go wild.
Yeah. The Samuel Donner way. But after 4 months, I asked out the girl who had been my stylist for almost a year. She was super sweet and had always subtly flirted with me.
Stylist.
Ooh.
Man has a stylist.
Dude, bro's getting it. You lost a good one, okay, lady?
Yo,
Come on.
could we get a stylist? We should probably have
I actually have a stylist in mind that I've been thinking about reaching out to.
actually.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Oh, for
You
for
can
you.
have him.
Oh, you can have
He's
him.
gatekeeping.
for me.
We can share him.
No.
Yeah, they actually ran out of business last week. So
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
even help.
Fresh out of style advice, but hey, I'm freaking down. We went out and it was just a breath of fresh air. She was very beautiful and kind, and we talked so easily and had a great time with each other. We went on 5 or so dates before we said we were a thing. I told her about what happened with my ex, and I considered it over and in the past, but I had some trust issues and she understood. Her ex had cheated on her too a few years prior. We have so much in common. Oh my God. It's been about 6 months since my ex cheated on me. Guys, put another ICU in the comments.
She's gonna come back.
She's gonna come
She's
back.
gonna rear her ugly head.
She's gonna come back after getting cum on her back.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, I'm here for you again.
Hey, come back. I'm here. You can come on my back now if you want. Oh my God. My new girlfriend met my parents and I met her mom. It's getting serious. Things have gone very well and I can't explain. Everything's just been easy, less anxious and fun. Wow, a relationship that's all that? Who'd have thunk it? Impossible. Where's the tears and the anxiety and the strife?
Honestly, I feel like if a relationship isn't a roller coaster that is just making you question your self-worth, is it really worth having?
Yeah. There's like zero growth happening.
There's
with that.
zero growth. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Also, where are you going to get the dark energy to build, your next company or like build muscles in the gym?
Yeah,
You know, bad relationships build gains.
We need a red pill supervillain going
Yeah,
on.
dude,
right
come
here,
on. I'm trying to freaking hit my PR and bench.
Right? In
Which-
in an ice bath.
Which, dude, I've been benching recently.
Oh yeah?
I mean, right now it's not. I'm like at 150, but
Oh wow.
it's gonna be
Still good.
it's gonna
Pretty
be
good.
it's gonna be 210.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
My highest was 215 in high school.
Pretty freaking good, dude.
Yeah, but
Pretty
it's
freaking
gonna
good.
be back. It's gonna be back. It's gonna be a 180 like next week.
Get ready for get your thirst ready, chat, because it's about to be
Peck season.
oh god. So we had a family party at my parents' place this last weekend. I decided to post some photos to my Instagram of me and her doing some of the games and just a photo of us together. I woke up the next morning to a flood of angry texts from our ex for quote unquote abandoning our relationship. You know, the one where you just like don't talk for 6 months, you like cheat
6
and don't talk for
months?
6 months. Yeah. Look, I cheat on you. I leave you on red for 6 months. This is the relationship. This is the relationship.
All right. So someone asked about my golden rule about how long you can leave someone on red in a relationship with notice, but my rule was a day for every year of the relationship. This is way over that.
Yes.
This
Yeah, they
is
didn't have
way
it a
over
year.
it.
They didn't even have a year to begin with.
Yeah, dude, come on.
OP had like
No.
an afternoon, or OP's ex had like an afternoon.
Yeah, save
And
that.
we're 6 months in.
Come on.
Oh man. So and not being man enough to tell her that it was over and I had moved on. I blocked her number, and then she continued on Instagram and even emailed, not the inbox. Finally, I responded saying that she didn't deserve to be mad. She cheated and turned her back on everything. She and the relationship was to me, and she needed to live with what she did. And you need to live with the fact that you haven't tapped our profile and joined the live yet. Hey, it's a weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Ding dong, you should be here with us.
Come on,
Point
answer.
over. But before we finish the story, so this insane ex has come back and is shaming OP. Do you agree with the blocking?
I think you text what I think exactly what OP did. You text a little bit, reblock.
Yeah. Like, honestly, just to twist the knife of like, listen, you think after you cheated and you would read my messages left me on red for 6 months?
Yeah, you had no contact with me.
Yeah, like, who are you? And that's who.
Shout out to the Kazoo Kid reference, but then also I feel like what maybe OP should have done a little bit differently.
Talk to me.
If he didn't do this, maybe he did, but when she wasn't responding, send a final text saying like, hey, I haven't heard from you in like a couple weeks. I'm assuming this relationship is over. I just wanted to let you know that I'm like, this relationship is fully done for me and I'm going to go see other people at some point.
I was going to ask you that exact same question. Another follow-up. Do you think he, quote unquote, has to do that?
I think it would be, yeah, I actually do.
Yeah. Just to make sure.
Fully sever. So she can't freaking do this.
Exactly. And
You
have
know?
any guy, well, it's like, well, you didn't tell him, which is like,
It wasn't,
this
it
thing
was an
ever.
official breakup.
However, OP could have just sent that. It would have been over,
Yeah,
closed,
exactly.
documented, boom.
I think it's not that she deserves it. I think
Yes.
it prevents things like this from happening.
I agree. I agree. Send the message a few weeks in, whatever that cutoff point is for you. Send that and let them know for your own peace.
For your own peace.
So she also messaged my new girlfriend some nasty things about how she looked, how we were still together, and she couldn't replace her.
Wild.
My girlfriend was upset with her, but didn't take it to heart. She also blocked my ex, and we've just been trying to proceed as normal. But my ex's friends have also messaged me as the bad guy.
What?
But I mean, they're with the ex, so
I know, but how can you believe this craziness?
it's so. Maybe she spun some tail to them too. Who knows?
Still.
Yeah, he didn't talk to me and then just started dating another girl out of nowhere. Come on. But I don't feel like this is something I need to answer for. At this point, do you think that?
Does OP need to answer?
Anymore?
No.
Anymore?
No,
Yeah.
no. I
think
so.
we cut it.
I think you cut it.
There we go.
I think I would have done exactly what OP did. I would have sent this last text and I probably would have cut it.
I agree. Wholeheartedly agree.
Wholeheartedly, but you know what I also agree with?
What?
That this is the end of the episode.
Wow, you're so right.
Yeah, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
see you tomorrow.